mic.
Pursuant to Section 5, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, this is to state for the record that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by posting and maintaining the annual notice of the regular meetings on the bulletin board in the municipal building and by providing a copy of the annual notice of the regular meetings for the year 2017 to the Glen Ridge paper, Glen Ridge Voice, the Montclair Times, and to the Star Ledger on Tuesday, January 10th, 2017, and by filing said notice in the office of the municipal clerk. Will clerk please call the roll?
Councilor Hughes.
Present.
Wasovich.
Here.
Leftwich.
Here.
Dawson.
Here.
Murphy.
Here.
Morrow.
Here.
Mayor Patrick is present. Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Michael. I have a motion to approve the minutes for the June 12th meeting.
Also move.
Thank you.
With a change on page 65 where it says Mayor Patrick declared that this meeting is invited.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
He wasn't there.
He thought of it, though. Changed to councilperson Murphy.
Well, you did a pretty good impression.
Council President.
I say councilperson. Acting mayor, how's that?
Boy, are we pulling rank up.
You really want your credit, don't you?
Thank you.
Okay, so we've heard the resolution. It's been seconded by Councilor Murphy. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Hughes.
Abstain.
Wasovich.
Aye.
Leftwich.
Aye.
Dawson.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays. The motion carries.
Hey, Michael, are there any written communications?
Yes, we have one piece of correspondence from PSE&G. It's an application for a modified statewide freshwater wetland general permit number 2 for installation of new gas distribution mains in public right-of-ways. We have a copy of the application in the clerk's office. However, no part of the application pertains to the borough of Glen Ridge.
This is the time for comments of the public. Would anybody from the public like to be heard? Seeing no one, we'll close that part. The only comment I have this evening is I went to the graduation Friday night, and it's easy to see why people come to this town. They've gotten a heck of a great education. There's some very, very outstanding kids who graduated, and I feel very sorry that the evening was a little bit ruined by torrential rains, but it was a very, very nice affair, and I think one that they waited for 12 years, and rain or not, I think they probably enjoyed it, and it's a great event. That's all I have. Councilor Hughes.
Mayor, I have a resolution and ordinance. I have resolution 9217. Be it resolved that the following claims are approved and warrants be drawn for the same, and be resolved that the chief financial officer, treasurer of the borough of Glen Ridge is hereby authorized to issue the payroll for the employees of the borough of Glen Ridge for the pay date of July 1, 2017. Mayor, I move the resolution.
Thank you. You've heard the resolution. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Paul. Any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilor Hughes.
Aye.
Wasovich.
Aye.
Leftwich.
Aye.
Dawson.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. The resolution is approved.
And Mayor, I have ordinance number 1664 for first reading. This is an ordinance refunding bond ordinance of the borough of Glen Ridge in the county of Essex, providing refunding for all or portion of a certain general improvement bonds, appropriating $2.4 million, therefore, and authorizing the issuance by the borough of refunding bonds in the aggregate principal amount not exceeding $2.4 million for the financing cost thereof.
Mr. Mayor, I second the introduction of that ordinance.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on this ordinance among members of the council? Seeing no comments, I refer ordinance number 1664 to the municipal clerk for the purpose of statutory publication and posting.
Mayor, I just point out this is in the no-brainer category. These are bonds that were issued a number of years ago at a higher interest rate. We can flip them and get lower interest-bearing bonds and pay them off and save over $100,000 in doing so.
Counselor Hughes.
Aye.
Wasovich.
Aye.
Lefkowitz.
Aye.
Dawson. Murphy.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. The ordinance is passed on first reading.
Thank you.
And that concludes my report, Mayor.
Councilor Lascelles.
Yes, Mayor, I have a number of items. The first is, I have ordinance number 1663 for final reading. This is the ordinance amending our Chapter 5 of the Code of the Borough of Glen Ridge entitled Alcoholic Beverages.
Mr. Mayor, this is state for a record that this ordinance has been properly advertised and posted in accordance with the state statute.
I declare the meeting open for discussion of this ordinance, and only this ordinance, this being the time and place for the public hearing. Is there anyone that wants to be heard?
Just one question, just to confirm, there hasn't been any feedback from the neighbors regarding this resolution?
No, there has not. We have received no phone calls or correspondence regarding this matter.
All right, we're expanding the hours of, the liquor store is open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
On Sunday.
on Sunday.
It was formerly 12 to 5.
Right.
Mr.
Any
Mayor,
fur-
just to note, deliveries will be restricted to 12 to 5. That will be maintained in the new ordinance.
Mhm.
That was already,
Yeah, so no change in deliveries,
Yeah.
just change in open per se.
Well, at least the deliveries won't be made while church is in session.
except on communion Sunday.
Any further comments? Seeing none, will clerk please will call roll.
Councilperson Hughes.
Aye.
Wasovich.
Aye.
Lefkowitz.
Aye.
Dawson. Murphy.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. The ordinance is passed on final reading.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I also have ordinance number 1665 for first reading. This is an ordinance to amend our parking restrictions on designated streets. In particular, we're talking about putting ADA spots on Ridgewood Avenue.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Where are these ADA spots?
Mr. Mayor?
Is
One
it
in
eight?
front of,
Yeah.
one in front of Boiling Springs Bank, and then one on the opposite side, just
It's
on
just
the...
north of...
By the women's club, right?
No.
No, no, it's by the post office, but on
The
the
north
north
side
side
of
of
the
the
cross.
crosswalk, yeah. So in front of the bank, in front of the Bank of America. So one, and it was a request from some of the elderly residents in town who said they had no place to park on.
Just those two?
Just those two.
Mhm.
It'll come in handy when I get my knee done in September. Well,
You still doing the triathlon, you're leaving me alone.
okay.
Do we have any further comments? Seeing none, I refer ordinance number 1665 to the municipal clerk for the purpose of statutory publication and posting.
We'll need a roll call, Mr. Mayor.
What?
A roll call.
Yeah, would you?
Yes, sir. Councilperson Hughes.
Aye.
Wasovich.
Aye.
Lefkowitz.
Aye.
Dawson. Murphy.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. The ordinance is passed on first reading.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I also have a resolution number 93-17. I'm pleased to present this. Be it resolved that the mayor's appointment of Gary Barbelanardo as a police officer be and same is hereby approved and confirmed effective July 11, 2017. Garrett is a lifelong resident, other than when he was in college, of our town, and I'm pleased that he's going to have the opportunity and of working on our force.
I'd like to second that.
Thank you, Dan. Any further comments? Seeing none, will the clerk please call roll.
Councilor Hughes.
Aye.
Wasovich.
Aye.
Lefkowitz.
Aye.
Dawson. Murphy. Morrow.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. The resolution is approved.
And finally, I have resolution number 94-17, whereas the Glen Ridge Rotary Club has requested the donation of surplus bicycles to the Pedals for Progress program, and the Glen Ridge Police Department has bicycles that have not been claimed. Be it resolved that the Mayor and Borough Council hereby authorizes this donation to the Glen Ridge Rotary Club. Mr. Mayor, I move the resolution.
Thank you. Heard the resolution, can I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any further conversation? Seeing none,
Curious,
will the clerk
is
please
this
call
a
roll.
program that anyone can donate bikes to?
Yes, what we'll be doing is we have a collection. We're working with the Livingston Rotary Club, and we'll have an announcement and have a collection prior to picking up the bikes from the police department. So
I think I've got a few surplus black checks.
Yeah, so we had several donations last year.
Will clerk please call the roll?
Councilperson Hughes.
Aye.
Palovich.
Aye.
Leftwich.
Aye.
Dawson.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. The resolution is adopted.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor Solich.
Thank you.
You two cannot sit next to each other.
I don't understand. Where is the confusion?
I guess I got my L's together. Councilor Lefkovich.
Mr. Mayor, I have no formal report this evening, but I would like to mention that the Library Trustee Board met on Saturday and took the first step toward being able to sell a collection of Islamic antiquities that's been sort of buried within this building for decades. People didn't even know about it. It's never been displayed. But I'm hoping, and there's a good chance, that we'll be able to do it in such a way that it'll wind up in a place where people can see it in the future. So I won't say any more about it than that, but anyway, we've taken that first step.
All I can say, David, is that this possible sale of these manuscripts has taken longer than the redevelopment of Mount Sinai Hospital. I remember when it first came up 5 or 6 years ago. So it's had a life of its own.
For sure.
Thank you. Councilor Dawson.
Okay, I have a brief report wherein we're taking care of the fields, and we've been taking care of the catch basins and things. So we had that heavy rain. I don't believe we had any flooding as a result of the heavy rain, because the catch basins are well taken care of. I also have several a resolution and ordinance to offer tonight. The second resolution that's on here tonight we're going to table because there's been some questions raised about the exact course we ought to follow. So the first resolution is to replace 12 lead line services on Edgewood Road. We anticipate getting this road paved in the fall. Want to replace the lead services prior to the road work. John Garcia has worked successfully for us in the past, and the project should take several days, so I'll read the resolution. Borough of Glen Ridge seeks to replace 12 Edgewood Road lead water services. That's the from the main to the house. It's actually from the main to the curb box. From the curb box to the house is the homeowner's responsibility. In accordance with NJSA 40A, the Borough of Glen Ridge used a fair and competitive process to solicit proposals for this, and John Garcia from Clifton submitted the lowest responsible bid in the amount of $17,700. The finance officer has certified the availability. Now be it therefore resolved, the mayor and council of the Borough of Glen Ridge, that John Garcia Construction Company be awarded the lead line replacement project. Be it further resolved that the administrator and deputy administrator are hereby authorized to sign the contract documents to effectuate the award of this contract. Mr. Mayor, I offer the resolution.
You've heard the resolution. Do I have a second? I'll second. Thank you, Peter. Any further discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilor Hughes.
Aye.
Palovich.
Aye.
Leftwich.
Aye.
Dawson.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. The resolution is approved.
I'm going to offer resolution number ordinance number 1666 for the capital fund. Authorizes appropriation in the capital fund for the purpose of DPW trucks. This is the first reading. The background for this is we'd like to replace 2 vehicles at our Department of Public Works fleet. The first vehicle proposed is a 2017 F-250 pickup. Truck will replace a 2008 250 pickup with 72,000 miles on it. The new truck will be used as a daily truck by the parks crew and will serve as a plow truck in winter storms. The old vehicle, will be transferred to mechanics and function as a service vehicle. The mechanics will retire the 2005 Explorer with 113,000 miles on it. Second, truck is proposed is a 2017 Ford F-450 Mason dump. It will replace our 2006 Ford F-350 Mason dump with 56,000 miles. The body on this truck is beginning to deteriorate and experience heavy engine wear and tear. We would like to increase the size of the engine from a 350 to a 450 to aid in our snow plowing cleanup efforts. With heavy and wet snow, the storms that we've experienced recently, that'll give us a 450 truck at either end of town. So that'll facilitate it. These trucks are four-wheel drive and have a fairly high capacity to move stuff. So, Mr. Mayor, I offer that orders for first reading.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Paul. Is there any further discussion among members of the council on this ordinance? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilor Hughes.
Aye.
Wasovich.
Aye.
Lefkowitz.
Aye.
Dawson.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
6 ayes, none nays. The ordinance is passed on first reading.
That concludes my report.
Council Murphy?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, on behalf of the Glen Community Fund, want to thank the borough, the police department, the Department of Public Works, the community fund volunteers for helping me produce a very successful Fitzgerald's 1928 Lager Run and Zuner Mile. Apparently we had a record number of participants, registered runners, and we had a record time. The guy was so freaking fast that he bumped into the walkers that were crossing over Ridgewood Avenue on their way up the block, and as he was coming by, they hadn't even completed a half mile, and he just passed the, he was closing on a 3-mile mark, so the guy was rocking.
Amazing.
It's the unofficial town picnic. We had a lot of fun. A lot of folks in the borough came out and enjoyed it, and we benefited from perfect weather, so it helped the day of registration. So just want to put a shout out again to the police department and the public works department. Just absolutely killed themselves helping.
And the ambulance squad too, right?
Yes, I'm sorry, and I actually went to the ambulance squad, the volunteers, and thanked them for the service prior to the start of the race. And I think we appreciate that, but yeah, without them, we just could not do that.
And to you.
And to you, Dean.
Oh,
Yes.
it's easy for me because it's the local. I enjoy doing it, so it's easy.
I understand there was something about the Zuner Mile you wanted to talk about? Number of participants?
Oh, the number, yeah, well, we went from, I'm sorry, thanks for reminding me. We went from roughly 50 last year to almost 100 this year, and the kids, it's the cutest event you ever want to see. The little kids just kill themselves to run this double loop and then finish on the track with all of the participants of the 5K cheering them on. And it's so much fun, and the winner for the women, the little girl from Ridgewood, she was well under 6 minutes. I think she's like 12 years old. She's remarkably fast. I mean, she almost beat the guy who was in his 20s. It's so embarrassing for him. But yeah, it was fun to watch, and we look forward to doing this again next year and every year. I fret about the thing I can't control, and that is the weather. This year we dodged the bullet. So thank you.
Great, thank you for organizing it. Councilor Morrow.
I have nothing formal to report. As a member of the community fund for many, many years, I do want to thank Dan and Department of Public Works and the police. It really, and the ambulance, it really was a great day. At the beginning, when you're starting to plan it, it seems overwhelming, but it all seems to come across.
And I don't
very
attend any of the meetings, you know.
Yeah, on purpose. But, no, it really was a great event, and the funds that were raised go to support the community fund, which in turn supports, social service agencies that directly benefit people in town, so it really is a win-win.
The money comes back.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Now we come to the time for the comments of the administrator and department heads. Mike.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. PSE&G has finally finished their work on Douglas Road, so they'll be able to do the Marston Place paving Douglas Road paving, and we'll also be paving Washington from Ridgewood to the Montclair line.
So
That's
we're
an
going to do
extension.
a crosswalk there too?
And we're going to be doing the crosswalks. We were waiting, they had extensive work, they've been working there since last year,
Right.
working on joints. But that being said, we got the tentative list for this year, which will include Sherman Avenue, Innis Place, Roswell Terrace, Hathaway Place, Laurel Place, and Wildwood Terrace. We're going to do approximately about 5,000 feet of main gas line replacement and services, what they're saying in 2017. So we'll be working with them, especially on roads that were recently paved, to make sure they do full width restoration, not just the trench restoration. Also, we have good news. We applied for $44,900 for the January 2016 snowstorm. We received the reimbursement last week, and this will go into municipal revenues unanticipated, which will help the 2018 budget by creating surplus. So we got 2 grants in 3 weeks. One was $44,600. The other one was $44,900. Will help our budget for 2018. That concludes my report.
PSAG promising we're not going to dig up the street grant for the paving.
Well, that's what they, well, basically that's what what's that with Wildwood Terrace. We paved that last year, and they were working there for about 2 months prior to our paving. And then they decided strategically that they have to replace the entire line after doing repairs on the services. So that definitely Wildwood Terrace has to be restored full width, full length, because we just paved that and spent a great deal of money on that last year.
Thank you. John?
No report, Mayor.
Captain Glen?
I would just like to second Councilor Murphy's sentiment on the race for that help with Glen Ridge, EMS, Montclair EMS, and the Essex County Sheriff's deputies. The race would have been successful as it was, and from a public safety standpoint, there were no issues. So,
Great.
great final.
Yeah, having participated in the triathlon earlier that day, where it was open to the public. I mean, there were cars on the course.
Well, the bike day, that happens.
You really appreciate what a special place our town is, when you're facing a near-death situation during a race, where you're supposed to be protected.
Councilor Hughes, you have some new and unfinished business?
I do. I have ordinance number 1667, for first reading, Mayor. This is an ordinance authorizing a special emergency appropriation in the amount of $275,000. Preparation and execution for the complete revaluation of real property in and by the Borough of Glen Ridge in the County of Essex. Mayor, I would just read the Section 1. The Borough of Glen Ridge has been issued an order by the Essex County Board of Taxation to undertake a complete program of revaluation of all real property within the borough for the use of the borough tax assessor for the tax year of 2019. So this is the funding to make that happen, Mayor. And I move the ordinance.
I'll second.
Do I hear a second?
Yes.
Thank you, Paul. Is there any discussion among the council on this?
Yeah, I just, having looked at property values and taxes throughout the borough, I really feel there's a need for this. There seems to be a real imbalance with regard to house values and taxes that are being assessed for these homes. So hopefully this will fix that problem. At a huge cost to the borough, but
Well, the last time I think we did it was 2010.
it wasn't that.
It was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was
5 years ago, 2011, 2012, something like that. I mean, and a lot has changed in 5 years with the recovery in home values. And in certain, the county orders us to do this when they find that selling values exceed the appraised values by a substantial amount, in this case more than 15%.
15%.
And so they've seen enough of that so that they've decided that we have to do it again. And it's not cheap. This is for $275,000.
a lot of money.
Now, I think we can expense that over, what, a 5-year period?
5-year period.
Yeah, so it's not an immediate, one-time $275,000 hit.
And there's no money from the state.
No, there's not.
Well, the difference now and the reval before was that we had just come out of the recession, and we were running over 100 challenge
we had to have a special bond note for the 1 year.
Right, and, we were losing. If we had 100, we probably lost 2. I mean, won 2 and lost 98. So we were on the losing side of it. This time, we are not at that point. So, thank goodness we're not at that, because it really, took out all our surplus.
Well, Mayor, that's because the values are going the wrong way.
Well,
It's
it is.
never going down, yeah.
Well, I think that, this is not forever. By the time we get this rebound done,
Yeah.
it'll roll over.
It's
So,
yeah, because it's a
I think it's a
cycle.
little precipitate, to make us do it at this point, but, and that was Bob's point of making, there was a huge difference
Yeah.
of the inequities at that point in time than there is now, I think.
But there's one thing that these valuations don't take into consideration, and that is the high taxes ultimately affect the property. For example, the house in the corner, 110 Richard Avenue, the house, the white house with the red Spanish style roof on the corner of Linden and Richard Avenue, that sold for $1.2 million. Arguably the largest property in town. It actually has 4 gas lines, that's how big this property is. Now, it sold for 1.2, it was technically per pass was $60K, but now they've been reduced because they're indicative of that they
Fair market value.
fair market value, plus the improvements that we've recently done. But yeah, it was the taxes that affected the selling price of the house.
Sure.
At some point, there's gotta be some
Well,
consideration for those.
It's been my understanding that, even today, but leading up to today, people put a relatively decent house in the market and have bidding wars. We've seen that before, and I guess that's a real sign that you may be getting.
But not in the higher price points, not in the higher price points.
Okay.
Yeah, at some point, it becomes prohibitively expensive because of the real estate value. So that limits the person. Clement House is a perfect case where they had a house that was priced, what they thought was a fair market value, and they had to come way off the price and subdivide the property to get it sold.
But I understand there was a fair amount of work that needed to be done in the house as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody.
Just like everybody else's has.
Any rate.
You want to come visit my new boiler?
Any rate, it's always an interesting one. Okay, seeing no further comments.
Mr. Mayor.
I think we need to,
Roll call
go
vote.
for a vote there.
Yeah. I'm just gonna refer it to you, but that's all right.
Okay.
Call roll, please.
Council Hughes.
Aye.
Palovich.
Aye.
Lefkowitz.
Aye.
Dawson.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. The ordinance is passed on first reading.
Great.
And Mayor, that's it for me.
I think, again, this is time for the public, if they have any comments. Seeing no public, we'll bypass that. Council Morrow.
A motion to adjourn, Mr. Mayor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.